Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Joy of Stick. Stickhead here with your Atari ST gaming channel. Today we're going to have a look at some Atari ST arcade conversions. Let's be honest, they weren't always great, were they, on our lovely old Atari ST? A lot of games didn't quite make the journey over to the Atari ST intact, but these ones certainly did. Without further ado, let's have a look at number 10. Yep, number 10 is Arkanoid Revenge of Dough. Not quite sure why dough needs to be avenged particularly. Maybe it's something to do with the price of bread. Maybe it's because the last Raspberry Krispy Kreme has been taken from the fridge. I don't know. But hey, this is a quality game. Coming from something like Batty, for example, from the ZX Spectrum, that 8-bit to 16-bit jump was no more clearer than when you were playing Arkanoid Revenge of Dough. For a number of reasons. The sound, the graphics, how colourful it was, the fact that your ball didn't blend in with the background, but also what makes this game better than Batty or Breakout or any of those others is the really cool power-ups. And also the mouse control. Just the precision of it is amazing. I mean, the fact that these days we can use optical mice as well, just to make things that little bit more precise. I mean, if ever there was a game to inspire you to open up your mouse and give the ball a clean, Arkanoid 2 was the one. These enemies, I hate the enemies so much. Yeah, so confession time. Back in the day, I used to play this with the cheat on all the time, just to give me, I don't think it was an infinite lives cheat, but it was a lots of lives cheat, and I needed them. It needed them to make any progress in this game. As we're just finding out, as I haven't got off the first screen. And there we go. Doesn't detract from the fact that it's an absolutely fantastic arcade conversion, and that's why it's number 10. Number 9. And number 9 is Volfeed. Volfeed? I'll stick with Volfeed. Basically, it's somebody finished Kicks. They finally finished Kicks. Kicks was a cool little arcade game where you draw in lines to block off this large enemy in the middle of the screen. It was decent, but this is like Kicks plus. Like I say, somebody's finally finished Kicks, but nobody seems to talk about this game. And if you've not played Kicks before, you basically stick around the edge of the screen, and then you draw your line into the screen to close it off, basically. And the bits that you close off get coloured in. And when you reach a certain percentage of the screen, you move on to the next one. Now, Volfeed kicks things up a little level, and it adds some cool things like power-ups, for example. And little enemies that can get in the way, and also these big bosses are not just passively moving around the screen anymore. As you can see, they're firing. Now, while you're at the edge of the screen, you're absolutely fine. You're invulnerable, which is great, but when you press fire to travel across the screen and out from the sides, it does unfortunately leave you vulnerable. And you saw there that I got hit, but also they can hit your line and then a pulse travels along your line to blow you up, which isn't great. But what is great is this game. It's absolutely superb, and it's that kind of vulnerability that makes this so good. It's the ultimate kind of risk-reward mechanic in a game, really. They should have called it Risk It for a Biscuit. Except, of course, they shouldn't call it Risk It for a Biscuit, because that's a terrible name. Oh, laser. Laser's good. Let's see if we can't get rid of some of these little annoying hands with the laser. No, you fool, you idiot. Yep, and that's what kills you in this game. Hubris, every time. And that's why it's number 9.
Number 8.
And number 8 is Joust. Now, Joust is an absolute all-timer of an arcade machine. It's so good. It's so good. So good, in fact, that when I was at uni, we had a Dreamcast. Obviously, we had great games for the Dreamcast. There was Soul Calibur, Crazy Taxi, Phantasy Star Online, you name it. But we played this. We played Joust. I think it was called the Midway Arcade Collection or something like that. I don't know why it was called that when it had an Atari game on it, but still, yeah, we used to play this in 2-player a ton and had tons of fun. And if we were rating this list on accuracy alone, I think Joust would be number 1. It's just so accurate to the arcade. Now, for those of you who don't know Joust, I'm the little yellow dude on the blue bird there, and the idea is I've got to clear the stages of these enemies, and the way that you do that is by jousting. Now I can move left and right, and I can press fire to flap. And the way that you defeat enemies is by colliding with them, but making sure that you're higher than them when you collide. Now, for anyone who is, gets a little hot under the collar, shall we say, at poor collision detection in games, this is the game for you. The collision detection is unreal in this game. It's so precise. I mean, it's baked into the game. It's part of the game's design. Because I can see like this 1 pixel width stick that I'm holding. Stick? What's it called? What's a jousting stick called? Lance. You idiots. Yeah, the lance that I'm holding is a pixel wide. But basically, when you collide with an enemy, if your lance is higher than their lance, then you win that particular combat, and then that's it, they're gone. But then, of course, you do have to collect their egg, otherwise they come back. But it's brilliant. It's brilliant in 1-player, but it really comes alive in 2-player. I would say 2-player co-op, but it's not always co-op. The co-op can fall apart very quickly when you accidentally, in inverted commas, joust your fellow player. And the game knows this, because there are some waves where you get a huge point bonus. I think it's called a gladiator wave, where you get a point bonus for defeating other players. And yeah, once that happens once, you can forget about cooperating. It's just not going to happen. It's just arcade perfect. It's a beautiful game. And that's why it's number 8.
Number 7.
And number 7 is New Zealand Story. New Zealand Story, as you can see here, another Taito arcade. Taito have done rather well out of this, haven't they? This list. Anyway, here converted by Ocean, and it's just a cracking platformer game. Standard Taito fare, super cute, absolutely nuts, but tons of fun. Yeah, it seems that a big walrus has stolen all of your buddies, and you've got to go and rescue them. I think that's the plot. Does the plot even matter? Probably not. And that's not what a quick kiwi looks like, by the way, in case anyone's curious. But yeah, I mean, it's just super cute. Just shoot the things, collect the things, get through the level and help your buddies, as you can see. Let's time things, there we go. To get to the end of the level and therefore save your friends. I mean, it seems pretty basic this early on in the level, but there's more to come. As you can see, I've just picked up some bombs. And there's my buddy. Saved him. It's just a lovely, simple platformer. What more could you want? And that's why it's number 7. And I've actually got to stop playing so I can record 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. But I don't want to. I want to keep playing. Oh, especially when you get this power up. No! That was almost disastrous. Get out of it, you. Right, where do we go? I can't remember this level now. Maybe we follow the big green arrows? It's probably a good thing to do. Yeah, great game.
Number 6.
And number 6 is Boogie Boy. Classic Tatsumi arcade here. Is that Taito again? Licensed from the Taito original. This is just a Taito list. Oh my word. Anyway, ported to the ST by Elite here. And it's pretty much what if arcade racing game, but cartoon. It's just a really cartoony take on your typical arcade racer. And it's just great fun, really. And it's full of these little cool, cartoony, arcadey touches. Like you can jump on the logs, run in between the gates for extra points, pick up flags. Now if you get the flags in the right order, and you can see that in the top right there, it does a little flashy rainbow thing. And you get bonuses. So for instance, I need to get a light blue one next in the sequence. You saw I went through a time gate there, that gives me extra time. It's just it's just fun. It's just fun. Now some people say that there's light blue, yes, pink, nice, now we need yellow. Some people say that the C64 version's better, but go home, you're drunk. There's no way. I mean, the C64 version's good. And I'm sure lots of C64 fans were very happy with it. It's very smooth, very playable, but this is really close to the arcade version. And it's kind of one of those where it has no right to be a decent conversion, because the arcade original was this huge thing with the steering wheel and the pedals and the... did it have 3 screens? To create this kind of wraparound speed, feeling of speed and all sorts, and they've done an absolutely grand job of porting this to a home computer. And that's why it's number 6.
Number 5.
And number 5, Rainbow Islands, and Taito rears its head once more. This is a very Taito heavy list, but deservedly so. Another absolutely cracking platform game from them. The arcade original was just brilliant, just absolutely brilliant. I mean, it looked fantastic, it sounded fantastic. And the ST version does a really, really good job of it. Really, really good job of it. Love the YM rendition of the music. And it just plays beautifully. I love the way the guys get really annoyed at you when you trap them in the rainbows. And yeah, for those of you who've not played Rainbow Islands, you basically travel up the screen. Is basically it. Kill enemies with your rainbows and try and get as far up the screen as you can. If you get to the top, that's the end of the level. And that's one way to play the game, just get through it, basically. But there's other ways to get through it, and that is to collect those gems. Now, I think there's a few different endings here. I think you can get one ending where you just get all of the gems and complete the game. seem to remember there's something where you can try and get the gems in the right order as well. And if you get them in the same order as the rainbow, you get a special ending. I might just be inventing that. I'm really not sure. But either way, what a fantastic game. Really tight controls, such a unique way to attack enemies as well. Just absolutely fabulous. Oh, the way you reliably get the gems, by the way, is you can trap and drop. There you go, drop rainbows onto enemies, and that gets you a diamond. But unfortunately, if those diamonds fall off the bottom of the screen, then on the ST version, that is, they just disappear. That's it. You can't go down and get them. Whereas in other versions, you can go and get them. So yeah, but anyway, despite that one flaw, this is such a great version. I'm going to try and get to the end of this stage so you can see another feature of this game that makes it particularly cool. Okay, here we go. Oh dear. That didn't go very well, did it? But there you go, so there's another feature of the game. Big end of level nasties. Let's see if I can defeat him with a tiny rainbow, shall we? And there, yeah, typically for a game, when you die, it takes away all of your power-ups. But I won't hold it against it. And that's why it's number 5.
Number 4.
And number 4 is Rodland. Another cutesy platformer, but an absolutely cracking Atari ST conversion of one. This is from a Jellicoe arcade here, coded by the sales curve. And unfortunately, somebody's nicked Mom again. There she goes. Right, somebody fetch the rods. What makes this game particularly unique is a couple of things, I suppose. The attack method is that you've got this rod that you kind of trap the enemies in. You'll see in a minute. And then suplex them repeatedly. Like Rowdy Roddy Piper. In order to knock them out. And then you can collect the goodies that they drop behind. I need an E, please. Thank you. There we go. Once you clear the screen of enemies, you move on to the next one. Now you can just defeat the enemies. That gives you nice points, especially if you then use the weapons that they drop to kill the remaining enemies, because then you get bigger bonuses. A bit like using the stars in Rainbow Island, I suppose. But what I'm trying to do is... Gotta get out of there. Whoa, nearly died. Let's get the tea. Yeah, what I'm trying to do is collect all of the things. They turn into these weird pink smooshy things. And then you can collect letters. And if you spell out extra, you get extra life. And hello, extra life lady. And the other thing that makes this game unique is you've got these special magic boots. So when you press up and fire, you create a little ladder for yourself that the enemies can use, as you've just seen. Oh, I should show you a weapon, shouldn't I? There you go. Bouncy ball of doom. This guy's going to try and spit on me. How disgusting. I think if you'd have taken this exact version and dumped it in the middle of an arcade, I don't think you'd have anyone complaining. It is just arcade spot on. And that's why it's number 4.
Number 3.
And number 3 is Pang. Another conversion here from the boys at Ocean, and they've done another cracking job transporting this wonderful arcade game into the homes of ST owners. Now, what's the premise of the game? I don't really get it, but apparently there's these huge bubbles terrorizing the world. I don't know why. I don't particularly know why two dapper dressed little fellas feel the need to pop them all with harpoons either. But I'm glad somebody's out there fighting the good fight. And it's another port like Rodland, like Rainbow Islands, just so close to the arcade original. It's so impressive. And out of all the saccharine, sweet, cutesy platformers, this one might just be just top them all. Just yes. Just yes. How about that? That's a good game, isn't it? Where you start playing it and instantly your memory's like, just yes. Just everything. The graphics, the music, the feel, the controls. Oh, that was a mistake. Okay, yeah, so basically each level is a single screen with some bubbles on it. You have to pop all of the bubbles to progress. And each time you hit a larger bubble, it splits off into two smaller bubbles. There's various pickups that you can get. I just got one that pauses. Can I get that? Unfortunately, I can't shoot anything because I've stuck my harpoon in the ceiling. Yeah, you got it. And it's kind of like Asteroids in a way, but with cutesy Japanese fellas. Gravity, platforms, harpoons. It's not like Asteroids, but in a way it is. You know, you shoot something big and it splits into two smaller things. So in that way it's like Asteroids, I suppose. And I've just noticed something. There's an awful lot of single screen platform games, or just single screen games in general on this list, and I don't think that's a coincidence. I mean, the ST is famously very difficult to get scrolling smooth in the horizontal direction, at least. Oh. And so to convert a game that doesn't require horizontal scrolling was obviously an easier task. Hence the amount of arcade conversions where the arcade original didn't scroll horizontally. The ST version tends to be better than those where there is that kind of scrolling. An interesting observation, at least. And that's why Pang is number 3.
Number 2.
And number 2 is Bobble. Yes, it's another Taito arcade game that's been converted to the ST. The last one on the list, I promise. And again, another single screener. Maybe there's something in that. But yeah, Bobble, in case you don't know about it. Baron von Blubbers kidnapped your girlfriend and turned you into a dinosaur. So, I mean, what are you going to do about it? Well, I guess I'm going to blow bubbles to encapsulate enemies and then use my dragon spines to pop them. Like any self-respecting boyfriend turned dinosaur would do. Yeah, it's just what a game. What a game. And the arcade original is it's close to perfect. Let's be honest, as far as video games go. And then the ST conversion is not one-to-one. It's got its own little quirks, but I would say the quirks it has don't detract from the game at all. It makes it slightly different in some ways. I remember whenever I switched to the arcade version to play it, it's the way the characters fall always puts me off. It causes me to lose lives that I'm annoyed about. But yeah, I mean, why is Bobble so good? It's just everything, isn't it? It's just everything. I love the pickups, the power-ups, the way that you capture enemies is cool, the way that you can use bubbles to jump around the level, and the level design itself becomes a bit of a puzzle later on, that you've got to use your bubbles in order to get around. I love the fact that there's just tons of little secret touches in the game. Like, to get the really high scores, you've got to bubble all of the enemies together and then pop them all together. And then if you finish a level on... Oh, can I do it? No. If you finish a level with the last 3 digits of your score on 0, I think it is, the next screen gives you a big meaty power-up and tons of points and stuff. It's just tons of stuff like that in the game. Oh, ouch. And just like learning all of the ins and outs of this game was so much fun. And again, it's another one where it's great in 1 player, but it's exceptional in 2-player co-op. And me and my best friend would just play this to death. In fact, I think it's the only game where I would happily complete the game and then start the game again. Just play it again from start to finish. It's just that much fun. And like learning all the nuances of the game, like the best places to stand in order for us both to collect the enemies and pop them quickly, and things like that. It's just a brilliant game, and that's why it's number 2.
Number 1.
And number 1, we have Super Sprint. I mean, the original arcade was one of the big boys, wasn't it? One of the original overhead racers. I mean, the lineage goes all the way back to Sprint, which might actually be the first overhead arcade racing game. Don't quote me on that. But the arcade conversion of this just has no business being this good. The original has, this big old cab with high resolution screen, multiple free spinning steering wheels, pedals. There's just no way they should have been able to make such a brilliant home conversion of this game, but they did. And boy, just absolutely brilliant. I mean, who looks at that arcade machine and thinks, that'd make a good 16-bit computer game? Well, I guess Electric Dreams do. That's who. So what is it that makes Super Sprint so special? I think it's just a combination of things. I mean, the controls are super tight. The physics of the car they're just perfect. The way the car reacts to like accelerating around corners and easing off the accelerator to do a little slide just feels so good. The way you can kind of tap that accelerator to get the extra bits of control you need. That's typical, isn't it? Talking about how tight the controls are, and then I'm starting to smack into the side. But it's just one of those games. Now, great games are always just fun to be in the world, right? Like Mario's a great example of that. It's just fun controlling Mario. And then you put an excellent game around that and it just becomes brilliant. Super Sprint does that for racing games. It's just fun to control the car as you're speeding around the tracks. It's tons and tons of fun. And then you add extra little elements that just make it so much fun, like the spanners to collect to power up your car, the opening and closing gates like we've got here to try and time and get through. The track design is so simple but so good. Oh, they got the spanner. How annoying. The fact that it's at its heart it's a score attack game as well will just keep you coming back to try and beat your old scores. It's just perfection. Just perfection. I've played so many different versions of Super Sprint, from the arcade original, the Amstrad version, the Commodore 64 version, Championship Sprint, Badlands even. Nothing comes as close to this ST version of Super Sprint. It's just marvellous. One of the other nice things about the game is as you progress and you get further and further into the game, the tracks get more and more hazards and obstacles. For example, on this track now you can see there's a tornado, which if you hit it spins your car out of control. But you also get like patches of oil that do a similar thing, or patches of water that slow you down, poles that retract and can explode your car and all sorts. One of the other things that makes this game so unique is the fact that you can play 3-player. Not a lot of 3-player games out on the ST, and even fewer that you could play 3-player without any kind of, you know, joystick adapter or what have you. But there you go, you could on this one. Two people on joysticks and then one huddled over the keyboard. This is something we always used to do, me and my cousin. And it's a testament to how much fun it is just to drive around in this game. So on this track, if you crash the drone cars into the bottom of the screen, they would just continually explode, be put back, explode, be put back, as you can see. So we used to do that and then just razz around the track for hours, it seemed like. And we would just play silly games on this track, like playing TIG and stuff. And obviously you can't cross the line, or at least you can't cross the line 4 times to finish the race. But yeah, we just razz around playing TIG, or tag, as you might know the game to be called. I mean, the other thing you can do is just set them to crash and then just razz around and collect up tons of spanners, and then you can afford all of the the upgrades in the game that you should want. But yeah, I don't think that's particularly why we used to do it. We used to do it just so that we could race around and play games and have fun uninterrupted by the drones. And that's why it's number 1.